I am being falsely accused of grooming my mentally disabled friend by her mom. I can't believe this is happening. I went to high school with this girl who is 5 years older than me. We are now both in our 20s and both female. I wasn't really friends with her, however we were friendly with each other. Fast forward 3 years, she reached out to me and wanted to get coffee. I of course was eager to do so. She has always been a little different and I thought she may just have some learning disabilities, which she confirmed with me and told me about it. I have hung out with her just twice within the past couple of months. Both times I picked her up from her college campus and I then drove her to coffee and food places and then back to her home, which is about 15 minutes away, just to drop her off. Everything has been going well and she's asked me to go to some concerts with her. She normally initiates. Again, we have only hung out twice since high school. Both times I dropped her off at home and came inside and had some nice conversations with her mother. Not too long, maybe about 15 minutes each time. And then left right after. Everything seemed fine and it has been pretty casual, nothing crazy. So, this morning my mom was talking to a new friend. We will call my mom's friend Jill. Jill knows this girl and her family. My mom mentioned that I had reconnected with my friend, told Jill my name, and Jill said something shocking. She had this look on her face and said that my friend's mom said something to her husband. Jill said that her husband was talking with my friend's mom and that the mom said, and I quote, "My daughter is extremely vulnerable. In fact, she just reconnected with a high school friend, insert my name, who is grooming her." I cannot believe this. I have so many emotions going through me right now. All I wanted was to be nice to this girl and now it is going around that I am grooming her. How? Why? I'm worried that this false accusation could affect my life. I never even initiated any of our hangouts. It seems like her mom made this all up on her own because my friend is texting me like normal. Apparently my friend's mom also accused another lady of the same thing, so it seems like it's a pattern. What do I do? Do I just ghost my friend? This is the most disturbing thing that's happened to me. I wouldn't wish being falsely accused of something like this on anybody. I am extremely paranoid now that the mom has told everybody her lie. Edit, I'm also 100% heterosexual and have a boyfriend. Making the whole thing even more confusing. I'm also without a doubt positive that my mom's friend said that. She has a reputation for calling random women groomers of her daughter. Comment. That's really unfortunate. Your friend could use a friend, but it sounds like her mother would rather isolate her. Please be honest with her. I just made a comment regarding a similar issue but in a different vein. I'm disabled and my health is quite fragile. I've had people keep things from me for my own good because they're worried about how it will affect not only my physical health but also my mental health. I'm quite depressed because of the fact that my QOL is quite low. It feels super shitty. I don't like it. It may be done with the best intentions, but it feels absolutely infantilizing and patronizing. My autonomy of making decisions for myself based on correct information is taken away, all for some misguided reasoning of not wanting to hurt me. This woman sounds like even though she has mental disabilities, she's still quite capable of thinking for herself. It's beyond insulting to not want to disclose this to her and simply ghost her. Please don't do that. I'm telling you from experience that you'll make her feel absolutely shitty and her self-worth will plummet, all because you felt she doesn't deserve to know the truth. I really hope you tell her why you're backing up. She deserves to know. What her mother is doing is shitty and she deserves to know that her own mother is sabotaging her friendships. Why don't you confront the mother about this and explain that the result of this is that her daughter won't have any friends, which is really sad and not really the best thing for her. Guilt trip the shit out of her. Just tell your friend that her mom is accusing you of predatory behavior. That you are uncomfortable continuing your association with her because of that. Tell her you really enjoyed your coffees, and think she's a great person and you wish her all the best. Telling your friend the truth does not lend credence to another's accusations. You don't even have to say what was said. I'd go with something like, your mother said some really awful things about me that I'd rather not repeat. Unfortunately for my own safety I have to distance myself from you. Of course, we don't know how competent this individual is, but some version of this probably works. Please don't just ghost this girl, she doesn't deserve that. You're within your rights to remove yourself from this situation to protect yourself from these accusations, but without at least being honest and telling your friend, you're giving the mom exactly the reaction she's looking for to control and isolate her daughter further, What are the chances she uses you ghosting your friend as another reason she shouldn't have friends, who will only hurt her? Are you positive she actually said that? As it stands, you heard this through a pretty long chain of he said she said. I'd probably verify that first and then just ask her straight up, why did you tell so and so that I was grooming your daughter? Your daughter invited me to go get coffee and chat. We're friends. That's all. But, for your own safety, if she presses it, you may need to regretfully pull back as your fears of this affecting you negatively aren't unfounded. Have you tried telling your friend this? Show her this post. Maybe your friend isn't even aware her mother is doing this. She may be doing it behind her back to sabotage her friendships with anyone so she can keep her isolated. Especially if your friend is still living with mom and helping her out. Her mom probably has a very sick codependency with her daughter. It's up to you on whether you ditch the friend. It just depends on how much drama you want to go through. I'm sure the friend would be hurt if you ghosted her. But unless she cuts her mom out, your friendship is probably doomed. She needs to get away from mommy. Next story 2. Right person wrong time? Am I wearing rose-colored glasses and ignoring red flags? Very confused and emotional. I'm leaving for the military for 4 years and had to end it with a girl who I feel extremely connected to. I moved back to my parents' town in February because I'm joining the military and wanted to save up while I wait to leave in September. I told myself I didn't want a girlfriend or anything serious because I knew I was leaving soon. I got a job as a bartender to make some spending money and quickly became friends with my fellow bartender. It seemed immediately that our personalities clicked, always joking with each other, and working with her was a blast. I couldn't wait to see her every day at work. Developed a crush, could tell she did too, and one night we went out dancing, we kissed, and boom we're a couple. We dated for a few months and I have never felt so appreciated, seen, loved, free to be myself. We laughed all the time, it was always a blast being with her, and the feelings were very mutual. 2 months ago I broke it off because for one things were getting really serious and I knew I was leaving soon and wanted time to recover before I went to basic, but also there were times she'd kinda be mad at me for something and say like she needs the day to herself, and I would plead for more communication, but it would just end with her apologizing later for being dramatic. We ended it on very friendly terms though, no real drama, wishing each other the absolute best. A week ago I got the news of when exactly I'm leaving, so I messaged her and we agreed to go hang out. Immediately upon hanging out we clicked like we used to, laughing so much and just feeling so comfortable and having so much fun. It's just like our souls fit together. At the end of the night we kinda got passionate, if you know what I mean, and we're talking about how much we missed each other and how much we're going to miss each other while I'm gone. Some family of mine, who have only met her like once briefly, have expressed fears that she isn't motivated enough in life, though since we broke up she started taking nursing classes and got a job at a hospital, that we didn't have enough time to see details about being partners, which is fair though we've spent hours talking about all sorts of scenarios together, and that her shutting down those times and getting mad at me when I didn't know what I did was manipulative, which is fair, but she has apologized and says she wants to work on that. I just believe her and trust her. I have fears that I'll never find someone else who I connect with so effortlessly, feel so comfortable being myself with, so loved, so seen and appreciated. Would love to hear anyone's thoughts on this situation. Am I just obsessing over the feeling of feeling loved? I've been on tons of dates and never felt so connected to someone. Comment. What's meant to be will always find a way. You could try long distance, knowing how hard it will be at basic, but agree to see each other at planned dates and times. It sounds like you're really crazy about her and it would be stupid to give it a chance. AHH, young love, so innocent, so clueless. Military life is very challenging, not everyone has the chops to deal with the sacrifices that type of life brings with it. It takes a special type of person to serve, honorably, and also a special type of person to be a good partner in that life. I would tell her how you feel, that your connection is amazing but that it isn't fair to either of you to expect commitments when there is no stability and everything is in flux. Then go do your thing and give it your best. At a better time, if that hole is still there and she is still available and feels the same, then it was meant to be. This outcome is unlikely, but stranger things have happened. If I was your age and knew what I knew now, I would 100% remain single. There's plenty of women out there just waiting to meet you and will make you feel more than connected and comfortable. The world is your oyster. If it weren't for rose-colored glasses, very few of us who've ultimately landed in a decent relationship would be where we are now. That isn't to say that I think you two are destined to be together forever, because you obviously have a lot of uncertainty and new experiences ahead, yet, who doesn't? I'm of the mindset that if it feels right, then what's the harm in seeing where it leads? For the supremely lucky few, it will lead to a forever relationship filled with love and happiness. And for many, most, it may ultimately lead to heartbreak. However, I'm of the mindset that heartbreak from a relationship that was loving, and not abusive, will only lead to you forming a more solid foundation for understanding what is and is not negotiable/acceptable in future relationships. Regardless of what I may believe, is this something you're ready to toss to the wind? If not, then maybe it's okay to let it ride and see where it takes you. Especially if your worst case scenario ATM is being without that person. Grain of salt edit for you. I am quite ancient in Reddit years and have always had the tendency to be Pollyanna-ish, so I am likely overconfident in my own rose-colored glasses, especially B/C, or in spite of, the sense that they're incredibly out of fashion these days. Have you had any other relationship experience? You're both very young. Unfortunately, most of us make mistakes along the way to figuring ourselves out and how to function healthily in a relationship. The likelihood that both you and your GF are there is small. Focus on the career you've chosen and try to extract all the personal growth you can from that. I'd also take stock in the negative feedback you've received from others who care for you.